It's amazing, Dave. You go from, sitting around sometime waiting for local sports to happen, and then boom, it's the winter sports season, and there's a lot going on already. Let's welcome Dave Seaman, Standard Speaker sports editor. And right off the bat, Marion girls basketball head coach Paul Bruto gets his 700th victory with a 64-27 win over Lincoln Leadership Academy. Over 500 of his wins with Marion Catholic. Steve Stallone and the Standard Speaker on Tuesday did an excellent job of covering the game and getting all the information in there about Coach Bruto. This really stood out to me, Dave. I'm Gianna Augusti, a senior at the school now. She was there for his 600th win, was an 8th grader, so let's just factor in 4 years. That's 25 wins a season for Paul Bruto, and that program is a picture of consistency.
Yeah, that's definitely been one of the, and he's been a hallmark of consistency as well. Going back to his days, I remember him coaching Shenandoah Valley girls basketball team, and he had them on a deep run way back in 1984. He was a real young guy at the time, and same philosophy. Defense first, and then pick your opportunities to score, but you got to win with defense, and that's something that's always been a hallmark of his teams. And at Marion, that consistency is run through the years, and look at the success that he's had and all the wins, and a lot of big wins as well, like state playoffs. To get that many wins, yeah, that, like he says, it has a lot to do with longevity, but he knows what he's doing as well.
Absolutely, and I loved at the end of Steve's article, the last paragraph, Coach Bruto was talking about the defense from that game. It was after the 700 wins. He's like, we got to get to work on this year's defense. And they're going to have a challenge, Dave, because it's a very talented Schuylkill League. Monoy area, they recently beat Lebanon Catholic, last year's single A state champions. And as we look at some of the other talent, in that area as well, I'm excited. I've seen a lot of these players play. You have Emily Shaw at Marion, Dave. Avery Jordan at North Schuylkill, up a division or two, but still some talent there. I'm at Monoy area, Megan Bisco, Megan Babisco and Megan Babinski. Shenandoah Valley has Allison Wargo, who's a double-double machine, and I haven't even talked about Minersville, and I know I've left someone out, so I say go see some games in the Schuylkill League this year. You will not be disappointed.
Like Emma Kaczynski down at Tamaqua, a great sophomore class at Tamaqua that Erica Davis has. That team's going to be, for real this year. And Schuylkill League's always been, a bastion for excellence in the girls' basketball scene. They went through so many years in a row where they had at least one representative in the state finals, and this year I wouldn't be surprised to see like a Mono area make a run, a Marion, or even North Schuylkill. They have an outstanding, like you mentioned, Avery Jordan, outstanding player. Shinkus is an outstanding player, but they have a great freshman class that I know their coach is very high on. So a lot of excitement for girls basketball in the area.
Dave, I like that. The Schuylkill League, a bastion of talent there. So look at that. He writes headlines. The Hazleton area boys, Dave, they get their season started with a win over Scranton Prep, 59-50. District 2 champs a year ago, Dave. I know they missed out on the state playoffs. However, they're bringing back a lot of talent and a lot of experience, kids who went through that run.
My impressions were that they were mentally tough. The game got close and they didn't flinch. Yeah, there were mistakes, and you expect that in the first game. They showed their confidence as well. Even they got behind by 7 points midway through the second quarter, and they continued to run their offense. There was no sense of panic, and there is talent there. That's obvious. There's height there. That's another obvious thing. But like when you see their mental toughness, it shows that they've been in close games, and this year they want to win all the close games.
Dave, let's go national now. So the Philadelphia Eagles, they wrap up the NFC East Championship, but they lose quarterback Carson Wentz. A lot of panic from Eagles fans this week, Dave. Is it all over? I mean, are the Super Bowl hopes dashed, even though they have a pretty good backup quarterback in Nick Foles?
Yeah, they have an experienced backup quarterback, too. A lot of teams don't have experienced backup quarterbacks. Nick Foles took the Eagles to the playoffs a few years ago, and he showed what he can do. And I think he has a little bit more around him now, surrounding him. When you talk about the receivers, they have some talent at the receiver position. The running backs, they're as deep as any running back pool in the league. You got to like that. Might have to shore up the left side of the offensive line, defensively too. They have a lot of standouts on defense. Been able to overcome injuries all year on the defensive side as well. So it's what Coach Doug Pearson calls a very resilient team, and it's got some talent too. And I think the Eagles are playing with a little chip on their shoulder. Nobody's really expected them to be here, and in a year where there isn't really a standout team, the Eagles might be that standout team.
And Dave, we have winter meetings going on right now for Major League Baseball. Let me ask you this. Is it all over for my Boston Red Sox now that the New York Yankees have Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge, and just a devastating lineup to get through?
Oh, no doubt. The Yankees made a super pickup in getting Stanton. I don't know if you saw the new dimensions of Fenway Park that they did. It's a joke online there that they put up the green monster even higher. So I guess a tougher target for Giancarlo Stanton and for Aaron Judge to hit over. But You look at that Yankees lineup right now, it's very potent, but they still need to address some pitching. They have some pitching needs, and to win in the playoffs and to win into the World Series, they're going to need another pitcher step up. Yeah, they have some pitching, but we'll see what happens.
Hey, even as a Red Sox fan, I'd like to see the banter in between Stanton and Judge on social media. You have to check that out online. I think Stanton said something like, "I feel bad for the baseballs," and Judge said, "Are we BFFs now?" or something like that. So it's going to be a great baseball season. But we have a lot to get through before we get there. Make sure you're following along in the Standard Speaker and here on SSP TV News.